Dear Radiant Leo, the Jackpot Portal is officially open on August 18th, and you, yes you, are standing right at the threshold. This is the moment you've been preparing for, even in seasons when nothing seemed to move. Now the breakthrough is real, and it's rushing toward you not because you asked louder than others, but because you've been refined, tested, and chosen to receive it. You didn't stumble upon this video by accident. The timing, the message, and your presence here are part of a divine orchestration. When the universe speaks, it doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers through restlessness, through dreams, through an invisible stirring in your chest that says, something big is about to happen. That whisper has brought you here today. So let me ask you something. Can you feel it? That sense that something unseen is shifting in your favor? That subtle vibration in your spirit, like doors creaking open behind the veil? That's not your imagination. That's alignment. The truth is, Leo, this isn't just another spiritual forecast. This is a call to step into the identity you were born with. Not someone who waits for permission to shine, but someone who is the light. The trials, the delays, the silent Sethi didn't break you. They built you. And on August 18th, the divine payoff begins. You're not entering a moment. You're entering a movement where money, meaning, and miracles start flowing freely through your life. The Jackpot Portal isn't just about financial gain. It's about clarity, confidence, wholeness. It's about being seen by life itself. This portal opens to reveal the truest version of you, the one who no longer chases validation or begs for love, but attracts abundance simply by existing in alignment with your soul's truth. Here's the part many don't understand. When your energy becomes clean, when your heart is positioned to give and receive freely, the universe responds. Your name gets written on blessings that were once delayed, and now they're finding you. The opportunities you used to pursue are now pursuing you. So I encourage Yano, I lovingly challenge you to take a sacred pause right now and reflect. What brought you here today? What tugged at your heart and told you to click this video? That's your divine GPS saying, this one's for you. Type in the comments right now, I claim my divine jackpot, and leave the number 777 to activate the vibration of financial and spiritual alignment. Let that be your signal to the universe that you're not just a ping you're receiving. This is your energetic yes. And if you've been quietly walking through anxiety, depression, or loneliness, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. The same God who allowed your wilderness is now leading you into your promised land. Healing is happening. Restoration is already in motion. And you're not alone it anymore. I just want to take a moment to thank you for being here. Your presence, your support, and your engagement breathe life into this space. Every comment, every like, every new subscriber allows us to continue sharing messages of truth and light. You are part of a global soul family committed to spiritual growth, healing, and abundance, and I am deeply honored to walk this path with you. Stay with me until the very end of this video, because what's coming next will shift how you see yourself, your future, and your divine power to create it. Let's begin. Leo, you were never meant to blend into the background. You were never created to shrink in the face of resistance or dim your brilliance to make others more comfortable. You were born under the symbol of the sun, not just the center of the solar system, but the cosmic embodiment of life, vitality, and divine purpose. And yet your journey has not been one of constant praise or easy victories. In fact, many of your most defining seasons have been walked in silence, misunderstood, underestimated, or even dismissed entirely. But all of that was preparation. Every delay was divine protection. Every rejection was sacred redirection. And every wound, whether visible or hidden, was an initiation to awaken the deeper truth of who you are. When you look at your life through the lens of the stars and the energetic blueprint of your soul, it becomes clear. You were destined not only to shine but to become a light for others. But no one becomes a lighthouse without first enduring storms. Your past pain didn't come to destroy you. It came to sculpt you into someone uncheckable, someone whose light is no longer conditional, no longer dependent on applause, validation, or external circumstances. This is what the universe has been teaching you in the hidden seasons, and now, in this moment, as the jackpot portal opens wide, you're being called to step fully into your era of radiant sovereignty. In astrology, Leo is ruled by the sun, and the sun never asks for permission to rise. It just rises. Even when clouds attempt to hide it, its power remains. This is your nature. You don't need to explain yourself anymore. You don't need to shrink to fit inside someone else's idea of who you should be. The sun, the emperor, and strength, three archetypes that appear often in your tarot readings, are not random symbols. They are energetic echoes of your divine makeup. The sun reminds you that joy is your natural state. The emperor affirms that you were born to lead. And strength, perhaps the most sacred of all, teaches that your gentleness has never made you weak. It has made you powerful beyond measure. These cards do not just predict a change, they affirm a return to your original vibration, a return to your birthright. You have nothing left to prove, Leo. That's the message. The proving season is over. You are enough. You are ready. And you have already been chosen, not by people, not by systems, but by something much greater. What lies ahead is not just a chapter of material gain. It's a sacred era of visibility, authenticity, and emotional liberation. A time when you no longer carry the weight of being misunderstood, because your energy is finally meeting the frequency of recognition and truth. Think of gold. It is not created overnight. It is formed deep in the earth, under pressure, heat, and time. And so are you. You are the gold, not because of what others see on the outside, but because of the depth, resilience, and fire you forge within. And just as gold never loses its value regardless of who handles it, neither do you. This is not the beginning of your value, it's the unveiling of what has always been true. The divine appointment set for you is not something you need to strive for. It is something you were designed for. In the quiet you were cultivated. In the fire you were refined. And now, as the veil lifts and the jackpot portal opens, the only thing left for you to do is receive fully, without guilt, without hesitation, without apology. So take a deep breath, look within, and know this: you are not here by accident. You are here because you are the light, and the world is finally ready to see it. When the jackpot portal opens, it doesn't just invite you to receive, it asks you to remember who you are. This is more than a symbolic moment, Leo. It is the energetic confirmation that you have risen into a frequency where alignment is no longer a goal, it is your natural state. The things you use to chase approval, success, connection, even love, are no longer external treasures to hunt down. Instead, they're returning to you now, magnetized by your inner work, your clarity, and your readiness. You've shifted from reaching to receiving, and that shift changes everything. From the perspective of energy, every human being emits a vibrational field, an energetic signature made up of thoughts, emotions, choices, and intentions. For much of your life, your energy may have been fragmented by old stories, survival patterns, or wounds that kept you stuck in cycles of striving. But through forgiveness, self-responsibility, and realignment, you've recalibrated your field. And when your frequency rises, when it reaches the bandwidth of integrity, gratitude, and faith, you begin to experience what many would call miracles, but what energy workers understand simply as resonance. The law of attraction is not about wanting more. It's about becoming more of who you really are. And you, Leo, have finally let go of what was never yours to carry. This is why the Jackpot Portal has revealed itself to you, not as a reward for perfection, but as a response to your truth. You've become the kind of person who can not only receive blessings, but hold them, protect them, and allow them to multiply. And that makes you the portal, the opening, the frequency through which greater things can now flow into your life and into the world through your life. Numerologically, the number 777 is not just a symbol of luck. It is a sacred code of holiness, signal that your body, mind, and spirit are in sync with universal intelligence. It reflects an alignment that very few truly reach, and when you type it, speak it, or meditate on it, you are not asking for something magical to happen. You are affirming that it already is. You are declaring, "I'm ready," and that readiness reshapes the timeline ahead of you. Even the colors around you speak. Gold isn't just beautiful, it reflects confidence, wealth, and illumination. It reminds you of your divine worth, kind that cannot be negotiated or stolen. Fiery orange activates your sacral energy, seat of creation and forward movement. It reignites passion and clears blockages around joy. And royal purple, it doesn't beg to be noticed. It simply sits in its knowing. This color is often linked to higher perception and spiritual sovereignty. Combined, these hues don't just make your aura glow. They signal to the universe that you are in command of your energy and your expansion. You are not the same person who once begged life to notice them. That version of you tried to chase destiny through fear. But this version has remembered that you are the destiny, that everything you desire is already encoded in the frequency of who you are when you are no longer hiding, doubting, or performing. When you show up as your full self unapologetically, a live life doesn't withhold. It pours out. So let this moment anchor into your being. Let it be more than a message. It is a mirror. Everything you've prepared for is not somewhere out there waiting for you to find it. It is already within you, responding to your vibration, unfolding through your trust. And as you stand before the Jackpot Portal, know this: you don't need to force the next chapter. You've become the frequency that attracts it. And now, all you have to do is open your hands. The jackpot is not a number drawn at random. It's not a lightning strike of luck, nor is it a finish line in someone else's race. The real jackpot, one that's calling to you now, is the version of yourself that no longer apologizes for existing. It is a life lived from the inside out, where you no longer shrink to fit into someone else's comfort zone. but expand into the fullness of your essence. This isn't about receiving something outside of yourself. It's about becoming someone who no longer needs permission to shine. Because, Leo, your soul was never meant to whisper. It was designed to roar. The image here is powerful. Imagine someone who once lived in the shadows, constantly dimming their light so others wouldn't feel threatened. That same person, after seasons of struggle, begins to step into their truth. And the moment they do, the world doesn't just take notice, it responds. They aren't handed a crown. They realize it's been theirs all along. That's you. The jackpot isn't something you win, it's something you remember. It's the recognition of your divine authority and the courage to live aligned with it. You'll see it in your work when doors begin to open, not because you've hustled harder, but because you've aligned deeper. The job title changes, not because you forced your way up, but because your energy no longer fits in rooms where you were once tolerated. Money flows in not through effort alone, but through unexpected channels, gifts, ideas, collaboration should mirror the ease you've cultivated inside. And love no longer feels like negotiation. It becomes a mirror of the love you've chosen to give yourself. This internal upgrade influences everything, especially your health. When you stop betraying your needs just to keep peace, your body begins to breathe again. Start with the small things. More iron and zinc to strengthen your blood and immunity, reminding your body that you're choosing vitality. Practice mindful breathing, not just as a spiritual tool, but as a statement that says, I am safe now. I don't have to hold my breath to survive. The nervous system heals when the soul feels heard. In career, now is the time to redefine what success looks like for you. Maybe it's not the job with the title. Maybe it's the work that makes you feel purposeful. Don't be afraid to release roles, identities, or environments that no longer serve the person you are becoming. You are not meant to remain in spaces that shrink you. Your expansion is holy. Financially, shift from scarcity to intentionality. Write down your goals not just as a wish list, but as declarations. Speak them out loud daily. I am available for wealth that feels aligned, generous, and sacred. Words carry frequency. The more you say it with belief, the more you create space for that reality to enter. And in love, the deepest transformation will come when you stop filtering yourself to earn affection. Be willing to love from the most honest, whole part of you. The right people will never ask you to dilute that. Vulnerability, when given freely, not fearfully, becomes a superpower. Say what you feel, hold space for another, and most importantly, allow someone to do the same for you. You're not here to chase, Leo. You're here to attract, embody, and expand. The jackpot was never about a sudden gain. It was about the slow, powerful rise of your most authentic self. That rises now, and the version of you who's been waiting to be seen, they don't have to wait anymore. You are the miracle, and the crown fits. If every door you've been waiting for suddenly opened tomorrow, would you walk through without hesitation, or would some part of you pause, gripped not by uncertainty, but by the quiet fear that maybe, just maybe, you're not ready or worthy enough to receive what's on the other side? This is a question many never dare to answer honestly, yet it is the very threshold that separates dreaming from becoming, because wanting something is easy, but allowing yourself to fully receive it unapologetically, joyfully, and without self-sabotage requires a level of courage that not everyone gives themselves permission to access. Leo, This is the part of your story where bravery no longer looks like fighting for what you desire. It looks like accepting it when it arrives. For many people, the deepest fear is not failure, but fulfillment. We say we want abundance, love, visibility, or success. But when those things get close, old conditioning begins to speak louder. Thoughts like, who am I to have this? Or what if I can't handle it? Become barriers dressed up as humility. But this is not humility. This is a deeply rooted pattern of shrinking to survive. And, Leo, you were not made to shrink. You were born to expand. You carry solar energy in your chart for a reason, not just to illuminate others, but to reflect to yourself that you are the light, and light, by its very nature, does not apologize for shining. The Chariot, a powerful archetype in tarot, shows us that movement is the medicine of fear. It teaches that alignment is not passive, it's an act of trust in motion. To ride the chariot is to say, I know fear walks beside me, but I am moving forward anyway. When you claim your light fully, you might feel resistance, not just from others, but from within. But that's not a warning. That's proof you're close to the edge of a breakthrough. The nervousness is not a red flag, it's an indicator that your energy is stretching into unfamiliar, yet destined territory. At this point in your journey, you're not being tested to prove your strength. You've already proven it. This is the moment where the question becomes, and I now live from the healed version of myself. Can you trust that you are no longer that child who had to earn love, or that teenager who was overlooked, or that adult who thought worth was tied to performance? Can you trust that you are no longer defined by survival, but by vision? And so I invite you, gently but firmly, to do something small but profound. Write down this declaration. I am ready to live fully in my light. Post it on your mirror. Read it aloud every morning. Let it become more than words. Let it be your activation. This simple ritual rewires the subconscious to stop seeking safety and hiding and instead build security and self-expression. Because truthfully, when you are aligned with your light, the world around you adjusts. The people who belong in your life rise to meet your energy. The opportunities that once eluded you now recognize your readiness. The abundance you visualize doesn't have to be chased anymore. It becomes inevitable. Leo, you don't need more signs. You are the sign. The call is not coming from outside you. It's always been inside, whispering louder with each healed piece of your journey. Now is not the time to pause. Now is the time to cross over. You were never waiting on the world to see you. The world was waiting for you to see yourself. When the jackpot comes, when the breakthrough arrives, when the weight lifts, and the opportunities flood, and it's easy to believe that this is the end of the story, that this moment, this receiving, is the destination. But Leo, what if I told you it's just the beginning? The true power of any blessing is not in how much it elevates your life alone, but in how far it can reach through you to elevate others. You see, the most powerful energy isn't abundance that accumulates. It's abundance that circulates. You've journeyed through shadow, through self-doubt, through silence, and emerge not as someone lucky, but as someone ready. Your story isn't just a testimony of what's possible. It's a torch, and as a Leo, a natural leader, a carrier of fire, you were never meant to keep that flame to yourself. You were designed to ignite others. Every time you share your light without fear of being too much, too bold to reel, you give permission for others to do the same. That's the true jackpot. Not just what you receive, but what you activate in the collective field. when you stand fully in your truth. In energy work and manifestation practice, there's a principle often overlooked. Blessings multiply when they move. When you circulate love, it grows. When you give generously, whether it's wisdom, time, encouragement, or resources, you expand the container of your own receiving. This isn't a metaphor. This is energetic law. The law of attraction doesn't stop at asking and receiving. It lives in the loop of giving, embodying, becoming, and then giving again. That's what alignment looks like in motion. So ask yourself, what if your story of struggle and survival is exactly the medicine someone else is praying for right now? What if your healing isn't just personal, but purposeful? When you share your transformation, not to impress, but to inspire, you create a ripple effect, and in that ripple, someone else might find the courage to believe again, to try again, to open their own hands to receive. Let your life become a living, breathing vision board. Speak as if it's already done. Move as if what you asked for is already yours. This is the language of manifestation. You don't wait to be validated before you believe. You validate yourself in the way you show up, the way you speak, the way you give. That's not pretending. That's alignment. That's faith in motion. And I want to ask you now, not from a script, but from the heart. When your divine jackpot arrives, what will you do first? Who will you bless? What legacy will you begin to build from that place of overflow? Take a moment, really feel it, let the vision form, let it fill your body like warmth, and then I want you to write it down in the comments, not as a wish, but as a declaration, a vibration, a confirmation, because every word you speak and type holds energy. Let this be your sacred act of co-creation. The greatest light workers are not those who claim to know all the answers, but those who live their questions openly and who shine so others remember their way home. Leo, that's you. Not just a receiver of light, but a distributor of it, a warrior of joy, a mirror of healing, a channel of purpose. When you walk in that truth, the universe doesn't just open doors for you, it opens through you. Let's pass the flame. Let's make this miracle bigger than ourselves. You've been blessed to be a blessing. Now let the blessing flow. Leo, you don't have to wait another moment to become who you were always meant to be. The jackpot isn't just comminged, it's here, and it's been waiting on you to say yes with your whole heart. But make no mistake, this door only opens fully for those brave enough to walk through it with gratitude, clarity, and a willingness to shine without shrinking. No more holding back, no more second-guessing your worth, no more editing yourself to fit into spaces too small for your spirit. You were never brought here just to survive. We're called here to transform, to inspire, and to live as a radiant embodiment of what it looks like when someone walks in alignment with their truth. You don't owe the world perfection. You owe it your light. And today, if something in you has awakened at us, some part of your soul whispered, "This message is mine," then I lovingly invite you to respond to that call. Take a moment now to anchor it in. What would it look like if you fully embraced this season? How would you move if you truly believed the jackpot was yours? What habits would you release? What thoughts would you stop feeding? Who would you forgive? And even more importantly, who would you become? Because this isn't just about receiving blessings. This is about becoming the kind of person who can carry them with grace. The kind of person who doesn't sabotage abundance when it arrives. The kind of person who blesses others simply by showing up in their wholeness, and that person already exists within you. All you have to do is let them lead. So if you feel the shift, if you feel the warmth rising in your chest, if your intuition has been buzzing while watching this video, then don't keep it to yourself. Let the universe know. Let your energy speak louder than your fear. Type in the comments right now, "I am stepping into the jackpot portal with a grateful heart and a radiant soul." Declare it, claim it, embody it. Let that be the first bold step through the open gate. And if this message has touched you in any way, if it reminded you of your power, softened your heart, or gave you even a moment of peace, then I want to thank you. Your presence here means everything. Every like, every comment, every share and subscription helps us grow this sacred space of truth and transformation. You are part of something real, and your support fuels the light we send out through this channel, eternal mindfulness, into the world. You have come a long way, Leo. You've been tested, refined, and prepared, and now you're ready not just to witness your breakthrough, but to live it fully. So as you go about your day, ask yourself, how will I walk differently knowing that the door is open? What version of me do I bring through that threshold? Because the golden age of your life is not a fantasy, it's a choice. And you, Leo, are finally free to choose it. Welcome to your golden era. Let it begin.